Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays a Binding Wise of AFTERBIRTH Plus. We're back, we're in good spirits, feeling happy, and like, oh my god, we have Mega. M42P HS2N if you want an easy run on this Friday morning is what I'm assuming it's gonna be. You know what? Guile me up with the guillotine. My favorite ingredient in Dentine Ice chewing gum. It gives it its freshness. We deserve this, by the way. We deserve it. Because the last run, and I am being way too finicky about consumables, and that is abundantly clear. We deserve it because the last run never really got good. And because of the fact that we have Mega, I'm going to save you. I'm going to mercifully save you from me being like, you know, and we never got a damage upgrade until the 14.1st floor and blah blah. But anyway. The point is, we deserve a run like this. We've earned it. We put in our time. We turned blue temporarily there. What's up with that? There's really... The only thing I can complain about right now is something that I've done to myself. Guillotine... Oh, it's an XL floor. Guillotine makes it harder to hit enemies. We also have a 6 rate of fire and 5.55 damage right now. Ain't no lie, baby 555. You know what I mean? In sync. Heard of these guys? Couple of... just a group of nice young boys from America trying to make their way in the world today. Sure hope they find whatever it is they're looking for. Anyway. Larry Jr. You are in a whole mess of trouble, let me tell you what. I don't want to use an orbital to deal damage to them. Especially when our own damage is so high. But unfortunately, something is wrong with my brain, and I can't not use an orbital. Even when the enemies are highly mobile. The only other thing, and it's not a complaint, it's an observation about the way that the run currently sits. Our HP is in an awkward spot to be able to take something from the deal with the devil unless it gives us HP in kind. Or we get HP right here, which we sort of did, really. And our rate of fire is just disgusting right now. With a positive luck stat, I will take Gimpy here. But it's not necessarily the right place. So to give myself a little bit more room, I figured I'd come in here. Tarot Cloth would be amazing. And we are going to be able to get it. So let's see what we get out of that. But I was hoping to get a Spirit Heart. So we're going to have to... Oh, dude. That'll do. Okay, so that worked out substantially better. Plus, we got Tarot Cloth forever, or at least for this run. We'll head down to the next floor. Feeling incredible about the way that things are going right now on this run. Very, very, very happy. I even, for a special occasion, I moved my arms on my chair here in order to provide a more ergonomic, The Binding of Isaac style gameplay station. That's how stoked I am and how ready I am. I don't know why I said it. How ready I am in order to perform to the best of my Isaac abilities today, while simultaneously providing you with the Zane that you know and love, or alternatively, at least tolerate. Here's the thing. I don't know why I'm all about the Zane. I think, you know, it's something I've trained myself in for a long time. Josh and I, Mouth, we used to play online games together all the time. We were above average players as a squad. Not because we were great, but because we had a lot of free time. We were teenagers. That gives you a distinct advantage. You know, you got more practice time than your average adult. Hey, you stay out of here, mister. So we'd win, you know. It wasn't irregular for us to win, let's put it that way. And it kind of gets boring sometimes to just win over and over. So we invented all these new ways to play. We used to play a little racing game variant in Project Gotham Racing. You ever hear of the Nürburgring? We would take really fast cars and try to drive them around the course as quickly as possible. And we decided whoever crossed the finish line first was crowned the victor. We called it racing. Isn't that weird? Okay, so that was just a bit that went on too long. Yo, though, let's check this out. There's a real game, and I'll tell you about it in just a second. We used to play Project Gotham Racing 2. We play a mode called Cat and Mouse. This might have originated in other games. I'm unfamiliar. This is where I was introduced with it, to it, I should say. So you'd have a lobby, let's say, of 6 people. You split into 3 teams of 2. One person on each team plays as a Mini Cooper S, a very small car that is fast, but, you know, not as fast as a Pagani Zonda, which is what everybody else played as, a supercar. I know Pagani is not a very famous brand. You don't tend to see them out there all that often. Just imagine, it looks a lot like Tim Burton's Batmobile. Now, so you're on a team. You got one Pagani Zonda, and you got one Mini Cooper per team on the Nürburgring. It's like a 9-minute lap or something like that. Ooh, trinkets. Yes, please. I don't want to use Mega because we're about to leave floors, but I would like to get a key if possible. The catch for this race is that whoever's Mini Cooper crosses the line first wins. What that means is that the Zondas don't really race. They do one of 2 things. Well, 3 things. You stay behind your Mini Cooper to try to fight off other Zondas or Coopers that are trying to hit you. You know what? What kind of person would I be if I didn't do that? I'm sorry, item room. I really did try. So one is you protect your Mini Cooper. All the Mini Cooper's doing is driving, more or less. The second thing you could do is get on the ass end, and I apologize for the YouTube language filter. This is the donkey end of your teammate's Mini Cooper with the Zonda, and you push them because their car maxes out at like 150 kilometers an hour and yours maxes out at like 230. You can hit a happy medium in between by pushing them. The third thing you do is you seek and destroy. You know, you discover, oh, your friend's Mini Cooper is way ahead. What do? You drive fast, pass all the Mini Coopers that are racing, abandon your friend, and in a moment of desperation, try to knock your other friend's Mini Cooper out of contention. It was a fun game. Had a lot of fun doing it. Okay, give me the HP. We're done with Mega for now. So you're always doing stuff like that, you know, playing Halo, glitching out of the map. Rainbow Six 3 on the original Xbox, but we wouldn't. I mean, after like, you know, 4 hours, you wouldn't want to play Rainbow Six 3 anymore. So what you would do is just, you know, try to do like a pistols only run or something like that. You get the idea. We're always about Zane. In Project Gotham Racing 2, there was another bug. If you took a car whose front looked like a scoop, like an S-Class Mercedes or something like that, and you rammed it at full speed, like pixel perfect head on with another car, you could launch them outside of the guardrails of the map and drive around like they're, you know, really, I mean, at the time it was impressive, but it's like it was Chicago, but it was like, you know, 8 streets on Chicago, and then they just gave you the illusion that there were more of them. And if you drove in the wrong spots, they wouldn't have actually provided like a collision object on the ground, so you would just fall through the map forever. We found another bug in the game where if you turned off your Xbox while you were playing it, your car would keep driving at whatever trajectory it was already on. So we would take turns, and this is really just a waste of time. This is how you know we put too much time in this game. There's like 8 of us. We would take turns. We'd pick a map with like a huge steep incline, and then we'd be like, okay, Jay, turn off your Xbox while he's going up the hill, and it would look like his car took off into heaven. And then he'd come back like 2 minutes later and be like, did it work? We're like, yeah, dude, it was sick. Okay, my turn. So we've always been about the Zane, you know, not so much about the competition. And I carry that with me into Isaac. The thing is, it's just so easy to be like one of the best players in the world at a video game. You gotta make it interesting for yourself, you know. You gotta intentionally inhibit yourself as to make it more likely for enjoyment's sake. Please hit me. I'm asking you to hit me. Because I have Celtic Cross and Guillotine and a lot of HP. Speed up. I can't believe we went through this whole floor, didn't see the item room or the shop. That's amazing. But now I'm trying to tap into those gamer skills, you know? I've gotten better at so many things in my life as I've gotten older. I've gotten a lot worse at 2 things. One of them, talking on the telephone, the other one, video games. Problem solving, you wouldn't believe how much better I am at, like, abstract problem solving now relative to when I was a child. Well, I mean, still am, I guess, but didn't mean to pick this up. Still don't want to pick that up, but that's okay. Let's see. I will take champion belt. I always, it feels like a slap in the face when you just ignore a damage upgrade, right? You gotta take it. And phone calls. Like, I'm visibly, or I guess I should say audibly nervous on every phone call. And it makes me very embarrassed. I'm not even being facetious. Like, I had to call back the doctor's office today, and I don't make like a script or anything like that, you know? That's a little ridiculous. But I called and I was like, hey, you know, this is Ryan. I'm calling back for my wife. She got a phone call. I'm calling back because she doesn't have a voice. And then in my head, I was over explaining myself. And I was like, oh, just call me back or whatever. No, I didn't say that. But, you know, my voice gets a little, like, unsure of itself. And you just go, you know, it's embarrassing. I used to work at a job where sometimes angry people would call me. I was never nervous about picking up the phone. If anything, it was just entertaining. People would be like, I was supposed to have those quotes on my desk by yesterday. And I'll be like, dude, I'm a summer student. I don't care. I mean, like, I care insofar as I want to do a good job for a couple of reasons. Personal satisfaction, and I definitely do not want to get fired. But I recognize that this, like, means the world to you, but your company has chosen to interface you with a 19-year-old right now, so you might want to take a step back and reevaluate your position within your current organization. Because we're operating as if we're equals here, but you're a lifer, and I'm just here so I won't get fined. Alright. Nothing wrong with being a lifer in the insurance business, by the way. Plenty of people do it. Get up to the level of a regional vice president. You know what that means. Golfing twice a month. What could be greater? The Empress. Oh! I deserve that for talking down to people who work an honest living. Insurance is wild, though, right? I know it's crazy. But I'm starting to get to that age where I have many insurances to the point where I can actually have, like, a conversation about insurance policies. When I was a kid and, you know, we'd drive around my city, of course. And you see all these insurance places, blank and blank and blank, blank and blank, blank and blank insurance partners, and then all the chain insurance partners as well, right? Or in, like, you know, Allstate, Progressive, etc., etc. I was like, who needs that much insurance? Then when I get older, you realize, you know, you got car insurance. You have to have car insurance. Life insurance, very common. Then, when you rent an apartment, you don't have to have renter's insurance, but you have to have renter's insurance? I don't really understand it. I just comply. Like, I remember there's one, we were living here, and then I got car insurance, and the person who sold me the car insurance was like, by the way, do you have renter's insurance? And I was like, nah. And she looked at me like I had lost my mind. She's like, lady, we don't have any assets. I don't know, you need renter's insurance to cover for your landlord in the event that you do something that happens to destroy the value of their property. Something along those lines, but I don't know. I need another insurance agent to tell me. Then, you know, if you own a home in Vancouver, you have to pay, well, if you're part of a homeowners association or a strata or something like that. And this is not just a Vancouver thing, I'm just saying for a point of reference. Dude, Mega? No. Mega combined with Tiny Planet gets a little cool little knot here, huh? I know my choice of words, by the way. Lack of combat there, but that's okay. So first, you're probably part of either like a homeowners association or a strata council. If you're part of a strata or a homeowners association, you have to pay them money, which isn't insurance, but it's like if a meteor hits the building, this is going to pay for us to get new windows. So it is insurance. It's just insurance that also does some other stuff. And then you have to have home insurance on top of that. And I'm honestly getting to the point where I'm like, isn't this all just one big casino? When I take out earthquake insurance, am I not just making a bet that I think an earthquake is likely enough to hit Vancouver, affect our property, And as a result, you know, I'm willing to pay you an extra, I don't know, $6 or $7 a month. That $6 or $7 a month is me paying you because an earthquake didn't happen. Now, if an earthquake happens, you're paying out the butt. No question about it. But I'm only like 50% joking. Like, there's a Chris Rock joke where he's like, insurance is like, crap happens, right? You pay money in case crap happens. Well, if crap doesn't happen, shouldn't you get your money back? And the audience applauded, and I applauded because I didn't know any better. But now that I'm older, I'm like, what are you talking about? The joke is good for an audience, but the premise of it fundamentally doesn't make any sense. Why would you get your money back? This shows you how much I value a stone chest, by the way. Why would you get your money back? I mean, it's not like if it does happen, they don't owe you the money. You know what I mean? I guess the idea is that they would take it during the period where things didn't happen and they would invest it, and then from the profits associated with that, they would give you your money back. But it just, anyway, I don't like that joke. I like Chris Rock, but I don't think that joke makes any sense. Maybe I'm missing the punchline and I'm being weirdly, you know, pedantic about it, but am I not really? Like, my car insurance is different. My car insurance is, let's be honest, if I don't get in an accident, it's a fee I pay to be able to drive. Something like earthquake insurance is like me and Allstate having a bet every month. And it's like, you know, Allstate's like, all right, I'll give you a 1 million to 134 odds an earthquake doesn't hit your house. And I'm like, you know what? I fancy myself a gambling man. I'll take you up on that offer. And additionally, here's my mailbox address, so you can send me flyers once a day that say, hey, what's going to happen to your family after you die? Wasn't trying to have a macabre moment this morning when I checked my mailbox. By the way, I don't use the Allstate Corporation for my insurance. I don't even know if they exist in Canada. They would be called All Province if they did. Little bit of a rush on that one, I'll admit. We could have stayed and fought. I sort of feel like Mega it's got a lower duration than it used to. Could be wrong, but I'm just saying. Empty Vessel's working for us now too. Big positives. That's my, it's not really a beef that I have with insurance. I think it owns that essentially there's a legal casino. And I mean, the thing is, for car insurance, I get it. You have to have car insurance. Because if you didn't have to have car insurance, nobody would buy car insurance. And then when you hit somebody, you would have to pay them $1.5 million if you, like, you know, ruin their life. No, not that many people have $1.5 million that they can just dish out. You're going to declare bankruptcy, and both parties get screwed in the situation. So that's why they make you pay for car insurance. I get that completely. But, like, home insurance, I guess you don't have to have it. But it feels like a gamble to me. I guess it's literally, that's what it's there for. I also wonder, like, I don't want to be cynical about it, but in Vancouver, there's fires now and then. I'm aware of the concept of a fire. Obviously, like, there was a point in an NLSS at one point, I said something regrettable, but I also feel like I was not given the opportunity to provide it with context. I said, you know, in the 21st century, you know, fires don't happen that often by accident. And what I meant was not that fire no longer existed, but people are more well educated about fire now. There's, you know, automated sprinkler systems, better building materials that are more fire resistant, you know, faster response times for fire alarms. Everybody's got a smoke alarm and stuff like that. But that was probably an ignorant statement. I'll be the first person to admit. I was playing it off as a joke for the most part. So basically, does this offend you? Yeah, okay, we're not gonna go down that road, but sure, hurt me, I don't care. But there's like a lot of businesses that light on fire here? And then like 3 months later, they're like, you remember that diner? Now we're building a condo there. Conveniently, we were able to get out of our lease and sell the building to condo developers. And I'm like, wow, how about, you better be careful. This area is very fire rich. I just hope you're building it with some newfound materials. It's like, I'm just, basically what I'm getting, the point of the bit is, doesn't insurance fraud happen like all the time? Well, part of the reason I have like really low life insurance coverage is because I don't want to commit insurance fraud accidentally. Because I don't know if you've gone through this yourself yet, but when you fill out, well, when you get life insurance, you have to fill out essentially a big old card that has a lot of questions on it about your current health state, you know? And of course they want you to do that because they don't want you to be like, oh, you're going from a $10,000 payout to like a $300,000 payout. Is everything all right, you know? Like maybe you just got a diagnosis or something like that. It's macabre, but it's also honest. Please, I want the... Okay, you know what? We'll come back for it. That's fair. So they ask you all these questions, and they're like, you know, do you have the time to listen to me whine? But they're like, do you have these terrible diseases? And there's something fundamentally wrong with me, because I can't say no. I don't know if college ruined me, okay? Because when I was 17, if someone was like, hey, do you have, you know, a brain tumor? I'd be like, no, obviously not. Now I'm like, well, I haven't been diagnosed with a brain tumor, but, you know, by definition, brain tumors are very difficult to diagnose and oftentimes don't show their symptoms until the tumor is large enough to produce a mass effect. So I will answer the question honestly, which is, as to my knowledge right now, I do not have a brain tumor, however. And they're like, we're sending you in for an exam. And I'm like, I gotta record Isaac. So it's a whole thing. So I'm stalling on filling the pamphlet out, I'll admit. Life insurance, and in particular, like, getting it upgraded, is really, like, the most selfless errand you could conceivably run, right? Like, you're, by definition, not going to be around for it. You're taking time out of your schedule to have a professional poke around and be like, all right, here's what's wrong with him. And that's why I refuse to do it. Just kidding. I'll get it done. I also don't want to be too eager about it, you know? I want to play a little hard to get. Like, I want to walk into the office and be like, I'm thinking about getting some life insurance. Because I think if you walk in and you're like, I need some life insurance, they're going to be like, this guy's a risk. But if you walk in and you're like, tell me a little bit about your policies. And, you know, I got a life insurance dealer down the street that'll double that. Do you negotiate in an insurance agent's office, or do things just cost what they cost? By the way, I worked in insurance, and I don't know the answer to these questions. I was pretty low level at the office. How low level was I at the office? Well, you know, I did stuff with sensitive data, but then when it was lunchtime and everybody went for lunch, they said, hey, Ryan, cover the phones. You can take lunch when we all get back. So, okay. Okay, Christine, thank you. Joke's on them. I just checked my email once every 23 minutes or so, which felt like just the right amount of time to not arouse suspicion while simultaneously accomplishing all of my other duties throughout the day. Really got him good. Can you get away from me, please? Because I'm like in the middle of something right now and you're being kind of a jerk. You're really actually distracting me and causing me some problems. Like, I think you can't negotiate. And I'm being sincere. I don't think you can walk into an insurance agency and be like, I want a $3 million policy. And then when they're like, this is how much it'll be, you're like, nah, cut it in half. I think that's one of those businesses where it's like, if you're like, well, I got an insurance agent in the other building that's willing to give me a better offer, they go, by all means, sir, please. We've given you the pamphlet with all of our benefits, but you know, if you find a better deal, I encourage you to take it. Between you and me, I don't get my insurance from this company either. I can understand. You gotta shop around, did the best deal for you, you know? That's life. Curse of the Blind. Very scary. Oh, please, keep talking about insurance. It's so interesting. Gets me all hot and bothered. Well, oh, hello, Creative Cloud. Of course, I love Eden's Blessing. Most of the time, it's going to make our next run easier. Maybe not markedly so, but maybe. Then there's the alternative. The alternative being that it makes it harder. That would be worse. I don't want to be controversial. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, insurance. I understand why it exists now. We're gonna have to make that decision at some point. I bring up earthquake insurance because it's kind of uniquely West Coasty to some extent. It's gonna cost you a little bit more money, but like, what do you think the odds are of the big one hitting? Wonder if are there like underground insurance dealers, like insurance bookies? You could be like, you know, it's illegal to sell like Rapture insurance, but if you know a guy, you'd be, the Rapture hits that pays out 7,500 to 1. Dude, honey, we can't afford not to get in on that deal. Think about all the money we'll be able to leave to our children who are definitely not getting selected for the Rapture, because I've seen their internet history. Austin. Anyway, I lost Empty Vessel, but this was all part of a longer con, if I'm being honest. If we respawn as Dark Judas. It's very important to me. That'll trigger Empty Vessel, leave us in a very, very good spot. If I'm able to express like negativity at one thing here, and it's tough to do because it is, you know, 25 minutes into the run, and here we are, you know, on the chest. It's a great spot. However, we picked up Gimpy on a flyer way earlier. Since that point, we have picked up 0 luck. It's an unfortunate position to be in. Now, it hasn't been useless, but it hasn't been nearly as useful as I would hope. Everything else has kind of come together, though. I wish I hadn't picked that up. I'm being like the slightest bit tense, because this could still go wrong. It probably won't, but we're not super rich on HP. Okay, so that's the virus. I think we're too... It's Yum Hard, disregard. Okay, we maybe shouldn't have even taken that one. I guess if we get Mega, we probably win by default. And we're 2 rooms away from a charge. Yeah, we're probably fine. Just a weird one. You always wonder about these runs that are like really powerful, but then once you hit a point in the game, it's like being really good at like high school swimming. And you're like, I'm gonna be the next Michael Phelps. And then you go to college and just get dusted by like the nation's best. And you're like, I gotta get a job now. You don't want to be like, I mean, it's better than nothing, but you know, it's got to be hard to be like America's 5th best swimmer, right? America's best swimmer, great position, world famous, if you know, depending on who it is. America's 2nd best swimmer, probably in a good spot. You know, Michael Phelps has an off day, you pick yourself up a trophy. He has an on day, you get a silver medal. It's not that bad. Nothing wrong with 2nd best. 3rd and 4th, well, you're an outside shot, but you make the relay team. 5th, it's tough, right? Welcome to Bob's Insurance. I'm a particularly lean insurance agent. How can I help you today? For now, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps a great deal. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.